Smug the Beast. As you guys know me from Olympic Gaming and also Yoga Flame. And I'm here at NEC, and we just played Ultra Street Fighter 4, and we checked out the changes. And I've checked out the changes for Deli, and so far he's pretty godlike, man. I think he's going to be like A+ tier or higher probably. I don't know yet, but the buffs that they gave him were his normals. That's the #1 thing. His normals were really godlike. Now, his jab, it now reaches to his glove. His actual hitbox of his crouching jab, I believe, was towards his wrist, like around where my green wristband is. Now it's all the way to the tip of his glove, so that's really good. So that's going to be a lot for like pokes and better footsies. It's going to help. Also, short swing blow, that's very good now. Now it's throwing invincible. So if I do a short swing blow and you try to grab, most likely I think I will get a counter hit. And then when I get a counter hit, the person they will start flying. I think it would be a juggle stance. So that's very good also. So I could probably lead it to super, who knows. And also, they increased the rolls, so it's going to be more like third strike again, which is really going to be good. And I think the red focus is going to be a real good change because it's like a lot of stuff people do. Now you can get away with the red focus and start blowing people up. Also, the delayed wake up is going to be really good. So now it started from scratch. So you start making up your own new setup. So I think the game is basically a new game. And that's what I think about Ultra Street Fighter.
Alright, well, yeah, you know, I play Hakan. Has two sides to him. Unoiled, oiled, very good, very bad. You just gotta find the balance in between them, you know. He's very easy to get exposed still. In Ultra, he's getting minor changes, which I think will help overall. But, you know, with everybody else being changed, you know, a little bit nerfs, buffs, I think it'll boost him up a little bit, so he'll do a lot better in Ultra, I think. And he's one of my favorite characters. He's goofy. Ever since I saw the reveal trailer, like I knew I had to play him. So he's a fun character, but he can be stressful at times too.
Honestly, I feel that he's uncompleted in general. I think he doesn't have the tools to get in. The way they designed him is, in my opinion, wrong. Like for instance, he has no safe ways to get in. He has to get in. And he banks off stuff like light SPZ, the knockdowns and stuff like that. 50s. And that's generally how I feel about T-Hawk.
I think overall the changes is really good. I think the jab is too strong though. Like it's too easy to do combos. He gets too much off of it.
Yo, where are you?
And it's really easy to zone people out with it, with the extra stun on block. And the EX Scarlet Terror, I think he can. It's not game breaking, but it really makes him like viable. I don't know what else. I didn't play it for that long.
Gen seems to have some really different mechanics. They completely changed the way his stance changes work in the air. He can actually do like a negative edge stance change in the air and get attacks from either stance, when jumping from either stance. And that has a lot of potential to be useful. It's just going to take a lot of getting used to. Because it kind of messes with a lot of my muscle memory. Gen really benefited a lot from the hard knockdown on the hardball kick. I think losing that and also the delayed wake up is going to mess with this setup game a lot. Beyond that, it's really hard to say. Like, personally, I'm going to be kind of critical just because I depend so heavily on his setups. But I mean, that new jump mechanic seems like it could be really good. But beyond that, I really can't say.
I actually didn't play him too much. Played him for a couple of matches. Had a couple of matches with Happy Medicine, Atlanta versus Bison. He seems to have more pushback on his light scissor kick. It's -1, but it has more pushback, so a lot of characters can't punish it anyway. So I don't think it's going to be an issue as far as Zangief Zangief's ultras, Balrog, Ibuki, their ultra 2s being, grab ultras with, one frame startup. I'm not sure if it's going to affect anything much, so I feel good about Bison actually. And I heard from Combo Fiend that as well as it being, the whole scissor kick and his standing medium punch being like his main buffs, he also is going to get his hell attack, the 2 medium punches in the air. He's going to get that combo into regular cycle pressure rather than using meters, so that's going to help. As well as getting full invincibility on his scissor kicks. That really helps his Gao matchup actually, so I'm really happy about that. I want to see how that turns out. He said it's going to be in the next build, though. It's not in this build, so. And that's about it. There's nothing really much going on with Bison. I can't really actually think of anything. The other buffs and nerfs are like irrelevant. The ultra charging faster, head stomp being a little quicker, like 2 frames quicker. I don't know why they made that buff. Probably something we don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And the changes for Zangief, I like to say, are quite impressive. Not gonna lie about that. His light green hand is definitely a lot quicker, so that's a plus. The fact you can't combo his EX green hand the way you could, it's not that big of a deal. Just use light green hand. But the fact his EX green hand can do a knockdown, then that's a plus. So yeah, besides that, comedic act, enough said.
I main DJ, and with DJ he got a numerous amount of buffs, most of them are quality of life buffs. He got improved hitboxes on his Crouching Strong, Crouching Fierce, both his sweeps, Crouching Medium Kick and Crouching Heavy Kick. And he got, well, those buffs are okay because they were already good hitboxes, now they're better. He got 10 damage more on his sweep as well, his Crouching Medium Kick, that's good too. Some of the better changes, 3 chip damage on all of his fireballs. He got improved speed in his standing medium punch, which is now, for advanced DJ players, it's an extra 40 damage on some of his combos. Crouching jab to standing strong to heavy Sobat. One of the other buffs he got was light Sobat is now -3 instead of -5 on block. That's very hard for people to punish as it is. Now it's almost impossible to punish unless you got Shoryuken at close range. It provides great pressure for DJ. And finally, I think his standing fierce used to cause a juggle state if you got a counter hit in the starting frames. Now it does it for all the frames. So if you have any counter hit setups, that'll enable them to juggle in the air and you get an extra hit on it, depending on what you use. In combo and ultra, if you're prepared. And that's all I can think of for DJ.
I think Blanco right now is one of those characters, once people kind of figure him out, he's kind of, easy for people to pretty much figure out, He does the same thing, he doesn't do a lot of damage, he does damage in spurts. I think in Ultra, with all the buffs he's getting, there's going to be a lot of Blanco papers doing damage. I know Insane right now is in top 8. NEC, you don't see that very often. We have Viserius, Ferris, there's a lot of Blanco players stepping it up. I think with all the buffs and everything Blanco's getting, I think he's going to be a beast. I think he's going to be a beast in Ultra. You're going to see a lot more Flash House. You're going to see a lot more of me beasting. You're going to see me winning some majors. I'm going to show what I got at Evo. It's going down.
I play Adon, and the changes in Ultra, I can't say I'm feeling it. His stand roundhouse feels like the lesser man's version of Bison's. I can't space anybody out with it, and when I do, it feels like garbage. I don't think his air Jaguar kick should have gotten the nerf it did for damage. It did an alright damage on its own, and you could combo into it. This just put a nail in the coffin for him. His air Jaguar kick is like pretty much useless now, unless you're just using it for only spacing purposes. Regular Jaguar kick. Properties seem to be the same. The damage, you can definitely tell it's been nerfed, especially when you combo into it from either jump fierce, stand fierce, medium. You're not getting the same damage. I wouldn't call it reliable. The hitbox seems a little bit off. Overall, he got nerfed pretty hard. I don't think he's going to be considered top 5 or top 10 anymore, but this is the first build we've got, one of the first builds we got for Ultra, so there's a lot of room to improve. Definitely a lot of change to be made, and since we're looking at a summer 2014 release date, I think Capcom's going to be doing a lot of work for a lot of characters, especially when it comes to safety, frame advantage, hitboxes, things like that, so we just got to wait and see how it plays out.
Alright, Ken, his walk speed, it's really good, and he got his jab and sweep back, which he needed, and he's going to be a lot better. His footsie's going to be a lot better now with the walk speed. He's going to be able to actually play against charge characters. Sure. Hopefully they don't take back his sweep. Everybody's complaining. I don't know why. I mean, so it's not that safe. Can't do it point blank, but.
They basically gave him. I'm pretty sure I read the sheet, and it's all buffs right now for the most part. They gave him. They changed his guacamole leg throw properties, so they're similar to like a Shoryuken for the EX guacamole leg throw, which works out pretty good, I guess. I mean, you still have to get the EX meter to burn, but that's a good change. Quesadilla Buster, the chest bomb, is a lot faster. I think it has faster startup and less recovery, and I think that on block he bounces further away, so you can't just punish it like with something like an uppercut, or you have to be able to advance or throw like a pretty far poke for that. They changed like some of his standing normals to 3 frames. Like he has a 3-frame crouching jab already, but I guess like now you don't have to commit to always having to like duck. You can do a standing light kick, which is, I think, is 3 frames now. There's no changes to like his ultras. I think they got rid of the corner setup where if you run into the corner, sometimes you get stuck and you can't run back. You're just frozen running. I think that's taken out as well. And the only cons right now, I think, and this is all like theory fighting, is the delayed wake up. Because with El Fuerte, with his specials, you commit to basically going overhead and having to hit them. If they do delayed wake up, which it's hard though because not a lot of people are like doing it in the build, so you can't. It's hard to test because it's at the liberty of your opponent. I'm not so sure if it hits or how it hits, but like you have to deal with learning how to deal with guessing if your opponent's not doing delayed wake up. So that could go pretty odd. And I think the red focus, not a lot of people are using it yet because it's just new, but Forte has a great focus attack already, so if red focus ends up being really great, he'll benefit from it probably pretty well. If I had any changes, I mean, I think all the changes are great because they just help him in all of his weak spots. I would like to have something where the opponent fears when I get Ultra, because I feel like when I either Ultra, like 1 or 2, I feel like when you have them, it doesn't change the landscape as much in the match. Whereas sometimes with like other characters, once they get Ultra, you know, there's a lot of things like you can't do or you're afraid of. I wish that he just had something like that. So like it's hard to always land on characters because they'll just change trajectory now. And the Ultra Spark is like not always the best setup. There's no way to combo into it, so it gets pretty predictable sometimes. But all in all, like yeah, I mean, Ultra right now, it's looking like pretty solid overall. So they're trying really hard to listen to the players that have like issues that just like it just doesn't work because of the game. So you know they're fixing all those little things, which is making it better.
Ultra Street Fighter 4, Bison, I'm not going to say he's completely worthless, but, I mean, to say he got worse is an understatement. Like, a lot of people are impressed with the little minor buffs, like the Sand Medium Punch being cancelable and Crouching Fierce getting 2 frames faster and whatnot. Crouching Fierce getting 2 frames faster, it's still 10 frames. It's still slow. It's still not a reliable anti-air, except for it's very situational. The Stand Medium Punch is a nice addition to being cancelable. It's also 6 frames instead of 8. The thing is, Stand Forward is also 6 frames and is also has a lot more range. So Stand Forward is generally going to be your go-to hook anyway because most players aren't going to be in that range that much anyway. Now, you do have a little bit of extended range with counter hit setups because Stand Strong goes a little bit further than Crouching Strong. It's good for counter hit setups and added block strings, but it's nothing like remarkable. Like it's good to have, but it's nothing that's going to like make the character much better. The the scissors kick being -1 a lot hurts him a lot, as well as there's more pushback on the scissors kicks. And that alone just makes Bison a lot harder to pressure. And also makes the Bison have to be smarter with his pressure. I heard about Bison possibly getting projectile invincibility, like full projectile invincibility on his EX scissors kick, which would help a lot, especially in matchups like Guile. And jump strong, you're going to be able to combo low strong into like scissors cycle crusher, kind of like cross decking. But I think that's going to be really cool. I just think his scissors kick should be reverted back to how it was, because it's been getting nerfed in every version, and it's mainly because simple-minded players just press buttons after scissors kick and don't know how to block. I'd like to see Ultra 2 either become a motion again, or it can still be a charge move, but decrease the startup by a significant amount so it's easier to react to fireballs, because it's almost impossible to react to a fireball consistently. I mean, it is impossible with Bison with the 22 frame startup it has right now. I like that they cut the charge time down, but they should also cut the startup as well as the startup of Nightmare Booster, so I can actually anti-air with it. And Bison is a solid character. I mean, he's always going to have mediocre anti-airs. But I mean, that takes a good player to be able to figure out how to anti-air. You know, anti-airs aren't as free as DB with Bison. I already accept it. That's really all I ask for, is that and just have the scissors kick. Like the teleport nerf is whatever, I don't care about that. And but there's more things I have issues with some of the other characters in the game. I didn't get to play it quite enough to really go into detail on everything.
So I think the changes in Ultra Street Fighter for Balrog are a little bit strong. I'm not gonna lie. I think -1 Rush Punch is actually a little bit too good. But I told already Combo Fiend they should nerf it a little bit too, at least to -2, not -1, because it's too strong, of course. The good thing about it, it makes Balrog a little bit more rushdown heavy. You know, like kind of like he was a ST. Of course, it's not the same, it's not as fast, etc. But he's still more viable in that, like in that style of play. Like the overhead is safer now. It's -1, I think. Like the jab and the medium punch one. So you can use it as a normal overhead, which is what I asked for. Even though it's still a little bit slow, but it's still good, you know. The other thing is, I actually, Javits told me that the turn punches are safer now. So it's actually pretty good too, because I use turn punch a lot. And if they're a little bit better, then that means that I get more rushdown. So yeah, I feel like Balrog, instead of being more of a defensive character, is going to be more as an offensive character, which is what I like, you know. Offense, to me, is better than defense. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I think that's actually the best version of Balrog, for sure, if it's not.
Smug the Beast.
This is DCB Rickwa.
This is Kamos from Salisbury, Maryland.
And this is Maestro.
And you are watching.
And you're watching.
2 Olympic Gaming.